So we're going to have a quick look at question 30. So you will have done trigonometry right at the end of year 8. So you may have forgotten big chunks of it. That's fair enough. And you will have it coming up fairly soon in year 10. So again, it's something that's quite good to have a quick recap of in preparation for next year. So trigonometry always works with right angled triangles, and it's usually involves two sides and one angle plus a right angle. So we don't count the right angle as an angle, but this angle here labeled X is important. Okay, so it's the most important feature once we know that we're dealing with a right angled triangle. Our aim is to use trigonometry to work out the size of angle X. So to be able to use trigonometry, we need to start off by labeling our triangle appropriately. Hopefully you can remember the longest side, which is this one here, opposite the right angle, is the hypotenuse. Okay, so that means the technical term for hypotenuse is longest side, and it's always opposite the right angle. So that is what we're going to call our H at that point. This side over here, okay, is the opposite because it is opposite to the angle. So that's where the O comes from. And this side down the bottom here is the one that's touching the angle. So it's right next to, and that is technically called the adjacent side. So the sides move around dependent on where the angle is. So you do have to recognize hypotenuse is opposite the right angle, opposite is opposite the angle, and adjacent is touching the angle. We're then going to use our SOHCAHTOA. Okay, so this is the formula or the phrase that you want to learn. And then we're looking at our shape and we're figuring out which sides are useful. Well, I know this side here is 13 and this side here is 16. So that's my opposite and my hypotenuse. So the opposite is useful, the hypotenuse is useful, but the adjacent, useless. So anything with an A in it, I'm going to get rid of. And that means I'm now interested in this part of the formula. The formula for SOH is sine theta, which means angle, equals opposite over hypotenuse. And I can fill it in then with the information that I know. So my sine of the angle X is equal to my opposite, which is 13, over my hypotenuse, which is 16. Okay, now to be able to solve this and find X, there is a button on your calculator. So you end up pushing the shift button. Okay, so if I write this down for you, you push shift and sine, and that gives you sine to the -1, which means you're undoing the sign that's happening here. So you push that, and then you do your 13 over 16 in a bracket, and it gives you 54.3. And it's that straightforward. Okay, so there'll be a bit of practice for this for you if you want to have a look on My Maths.